We do have the most important topic of them all. Our guest speaker is an expert in the field. Let's give our time and clear attention to Chad Free. Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of feeling like you're drowning in debt? Do you feel like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of bills, payments, and unable to break free and enjoy the life you deserve? Well, today is the day to take control of your finances and start living the life you've always dreamed of. Our Debt Free for Life program is designed to give you the tools, resources, and support you need to finally break free from the burden of debt. So get ready to take control of your finances and start living the life you've always dreamed of with our Debt Free for Life program. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can turn your financial situation around and achieve the financial freedom you deserve. Let's give it up to Chad Free. Chad, take it away.
What's up, everybody? Hope y'all are doing great. I'm pumped up to be here. I always like being in front of a camera and sharing my heart because, man, I've got a big purpose. And that's really what I want to start out with is just sharing that I believe that everybody is created on purpose for a purpose. And when I usually walk into a room and give a talk, I try to look at everybody in the eye and really connect with them and let them know that, look, you're created on purpose for a purpose. Sometimes we accept where we are, our circumstances, our situations, and we just sit in it. We sit in that setback, and then we settle in that setback. And then before you know it, we're cemented in that setback. One of my coaches, Tim Story, actually wrote a book about that. And so what I want to do is kind of just wake you up a bit and let you know that there is hope. There is steps that you can take to break free. You know, two of the biggest things is crazy. All the speakers talked about a little bit about mindset. We've talked a lot about money, and then we've talked about health. Two of the biggest things that prevent us from ever pursuing that purpose is mindset and money. And we're so focused on surviving that we can't even fathom what it's like to thrive. We have no clue because we're right here. We can't see our own picture because we're stuck inside the frame. So my thing is, how many of you go to bed thinking about debt, thinking about your bills? Like you got this heavy weight on your chest, and then you wake up in the morning and then, you know, maybe 10, 15 seconds. Oh, reality. No, that wasn't just a dream. The debt's still here. I still got to figure out how this is going to be paid and that's going to be paid. And again, you're just in that cycle. You're in that cycle. So we all want the best. I feel like most of us want to do the best for ourselves and for our family. And we want to do good things in our life. Sometimes we just don't know what it is. We just don't know. So go to the next slide, please. This is where I want to challenge you. I want to wake you up. I want to show you just how bad that we're addicted to the status quo. And a lot of us are just going with the flow. We're on the sideline and we're just hoping something shakes out in our favor. And we're a human doing instead of a human being. We're just trying to fit in when we're called to stand out, man, and live this life. Be present. But we don't know how to do it. So I'm going to ask a funny question here. Might be funny, might not. Trying to prove a point. How many seconds are in a year? Any math gurus on here want to throw that in the chat? How many seconds are in a year? All right, I'm going to jump right to it because I got 15 minutes. There's 12 seconds in a year. January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd. But all of you probably, if you're paying attention, if you're listening to understand me, chances are you were thinking, well, I'm like, how do I do that calculation? That's what you're thinking, right? That's what we're thinking. I'm going to tell you a quick story, kind of funny. I did mixed martial arts, believe it or not. I did it just to stay in shape. I did it just to learn a little something new, and I really enjoyed that. So I made it to this thing called the Fight Club. Now, it was mainly for black belts. I was a gold belt at the time, but I don't know if they needed, just new fresh meat to beat up on or what. But to get to the story, I had to go and compete. Now, I'm a grown man at this time that has a job, and I kind of need my smile to generate income, right? But to be in this, we didn't do in the, we didn't fight in the cage or anything, but to test our stand-up skills, we did kickboxing tournaments. To test our ground skills, we did just jiu-jitsu tournaments. So here I am, your boy, going to his first ever kickboxing tournament, and they don't pair you up with somebody with the same experience. It's by weight class. So I'm out there and I have to go, I'm 3 years at this, and I have to go against a guy that is 30 years into it. He has his own school, his own dojo. All right. So I go in there and I give it my best. I have the confidence. I know that I'm going to give my best. And I had the desire to go out there and win. First round, I go out there, we fight. I win the first round. Go into the second round. My sensei says, hey, go out there and do the same thing. You're going to win. You're going to win this fight. So I go back out there and we start going again. This time, now listen up, this time we get pushed out of bounds. Now we're on a mat. We're not in an octagon. We're not in a ring. We get pushed out of bounds. Well, listen, I thought that Daniel-san in Karate Kid and on Cobra Kai, some of you may get that, some of you won't. When you get pushed out of bounds, you go back to the middle, you touch gloves, the referee's going to reset you and you're going to start going again. That's what I assumed. That's what I saw on TV. Well, here I go, walking back in. I don't know where he's at, but he does. I start walking back in, and next thing you know, I get hit in the jaw by something. My jaw explodes. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am, and I don't know what I'm doing here. Here's the thing. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't know that resetting was no such thing. I didn't know the rules. I didn't take that extra step to make sure I had all that information. And knowledge is what's holding us back so many times. Always ask yourself, is there a better way? Is there a better way? All right, so now let's go to the next step. I want to talk to you about a little knowledge. I want to drop a little knowledge for you, okay? We're going to talk about APR and EIC. EIC may not look familiar to you, but APR does. Now, let me unpack some quick numbers for you, all right? On 100, let's do simple math. Man, I'm from South Carolina, right? And I like simple. All right, $100,000 mortgage for 30 years. Okay? And you have a 4% APR. Well, that's pretty good right now, right? Some people have, less than 4, 3.5, whatever. But I'm going to tell you why APR doesn't pay your bills. APR, we don't need to get hung up with it. APR is what gets us in trouble. So that $100,000 amount that you financed for 30 years at 4% APR, the payment on that is $477.42 per month. How much of that money is interest and is going to the financial institution? I promise you it's not 4%. It's $199 in interest. Now, listen, your mind's like a parachute. It works best when it's open. I need you to listen to this. That is 41% of your money that is not going toward the debt, not going towards paying the debt down. It's going to build somebody else's profit margin up. Now, where are you making 41% in your investments? And listen, before you think that I'm debt-free, I'm not debt-free yet. All of us have A lot of us have debt. A lot of us don't. A lot of us do. Okay. But when you're in the know and you have the knowledge, we can show you how to spin the tables using your existing budget and have that money compounding in your favor. So when you're dumping all your savings into this big old bucket, but there's a big old hole in the bottom of that bucket going right out the bottom, man, what in the world? And you know what? It's probably intentional that you don't hear about it. Like Troy was talking about, our whole society and this industry, you know, they want you to focus on chasing rates of returns, rates of returns, rates of return. When you get to the top of the hill for that nest egg, you're not going to carry that nest egg around in your book bag and say, hey, I got eggs and I got these 2 liters and I got a Snickers bar. You're not going to do that in the grocery line, are you? And say, hey, get whatever you need out of that front pocket. You know, don't forget the Snickers bar. No. You want that compounding in your favor. And the only difference and the only reason why it's not compounding in your favor or you're making strides for it to compound in your favor is knowledge. And remember what I said, sometimes you can't see your own picture when you're stuck inside the frame. You just got to ask for help. And that's why I'm a big advocate for waking up and taking personal responsibility. Don't assume that somebody else has your best interest in mind. All right. So go to let me show you a little situation right quick. In this model here, we're not going to show you, we're not going to encourage you to sell your car and ride a bicycle. We want you to embrace your lifestyle. We want to use your existing budget and redirect those dollars that work in your favor. All right. So just to give you an example, we helped a family in Georgia pay off $327,000 in debt in 6 years using their existing budget. And while that gets you just yayed up, right, and excited, could you imagine being debt-free in 6 years from now? I mean, that would be huge, right? But at the end of 9 years, they had $227,000 in a tax-free cash account. So we eliminate debt and build wealth at the same time. You know, I love what the chiropractor talked about. You know, if we don't control how we think, we won't control what we do. If we can't control how we think, we can't control what we do. So you got to open your mind. You got to ask yourself, is there anything out there better? And the answer is yes. There is a better way. It may not be profitable for the financial institutions, but you have a right to know about it, but you have to go seek it. You have to get it. And that's what this great group here at C&K, man, you know, I can just tell since partnering with them, our values are so much in alignment. We want people to be educated. So we build income models that spin the tables and have that money stop going towards somebody else's favor, but compound in our favor. All right. Next slide, please. Everybody has a next step. And usually, I know a lot of times on Zoom here, I can't see everybody, but I'd love for you to raise your hand. If you think that you have a next step to become better, I want you to raise your hand. Raise your hand where I can see you, or raise that virtual hand down at the bottom. We have the want to, guys. We have the want to. We want to make an impact in this world. We want to do better for ourselves. But listen, I think we want to do better for those that depend on us too. And when you're wrapped up and money is a source for you, let me tell you what happens. That means you think about the future all the time. You're always worried, where's that paycheck going to come from? And that makes you not present. You know, I have a lot of knowledge about a lot of this financial stuff, but for a long time, man, money was a source. I would tell you that it's not a source. But now it is a resource because I'm in control of it. And I get emotional every time I talk about this, but I am intentional with pursuing relationships with my two awesome boys. I don't think about 5 years from now when I have blessings right in front of me that I need to be capitalizing on and opportunities that I need to be capitalizing on, and stop worrying about if this deal comes through, if this deal comes through, if this partnership happens, we're going to be set. Now I have provision for my vision. I have income for impact. And that's what I want for people. I want people to experience that you can live inside out and you can build real wealth inside out, because my entire adult life, I've never, ever realized these blessings. And I never knew that money had such a hold on it. I thought I was doing right as the man of the house wanting to provide. And I was, but let me tell you something. I didn't have my priorities in right. And it's crazy when that script flips and now you're in a line with your purpose. When you're in line with your purpose, that unlocks potential that you never knew you had. And that gives you the can't stop, won't stop. So that'll go over into your activity and your performance, and that'll make you profitable. And you will be present, profitable, and on purpose. Guys, if you want to know more, again, we just want to educate you. It's simple. We want to educate you. We want to show you the math. So if you want to know more about this, and if you're paying extra on debts, if you're contributing anything above and beyond your match in your 401k, if you're putting anything in savings, I promise you, it'll blow you away what Debt Free for Life can do. So get with the advisor or the agent that invited you here. And we would love, love, love to turn money from a source to a resource so you can start thriving and pursuing your purpose. That's what I'm all about. That's my purpose. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.